and go. All right. Let me know when that video's done. What's the point of waiting? Just hit it. Just go. There we go. And I got a notification. That was Shane's notification again.
Shane texting you
Shane
while we're doing this right next to each other.
Shane's like,
Share now.
hey, there we go. Oh, there it is. And the intro's rolling too. Although it's a few seconds behind what we are.
Of course it is. But that's all right.
So, but you know, it's anticipated. Now I'm not down to 19 seconds battery. Hey, welcome to Almost Anything episode. Right, we should call it. Episode 1, take
Episode 1.
3.
Three. Yeah.
3. I'm excited. Are you guys excited?
I'm excited too.
Shane Powell,
So happy to be here.
welcome. Welcome
Thank
to.
you.
We haven't named this yet. What this is.
This area?
Yeah, we haven't named. This is the. It's the man cave.
The basement.
I'm actually watching the stream right now, as we can see it, and it's actually it's quoting us, or it's not quoting us. What is that word?
Subtitles?
Subtitling. It's subtitling
Is
us
it?
right now
Is it getting it right?
as we speak.
Subtitle.
So I'm actually. Ooh, look, and there's one viewer already. So hey, if you are into just any kind of random conversation, please like this video, share this video. Smash that like button. I've always wanted to say that.
Is there a like button?
No, well, yeah, of course there's a like button. It's YouTube, so yeah,
Oh.
smash
It's
the like
YouTube.
button.
I thought
yeah,
you were
so
doing
or Facebook. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share it now.
Instagram.
I don't even
Right now, it's Instagram. We're sharing our YouTube channel on Instagram. Here we go. Okay, so I'm sharing this. I'm gonna share it to the quarantine worship people. That's
Quarantine
yeah,
worship.
Yeah, because that's just funny as heck. I'm just
Facegram.
kidding. No, Facegram.
Facegram.
So
Instaface.
so tonight I'm gonna not do a watch party for all of this crazy stuff. Tonight I decided that in the season of all of the divisive conversation, and there's just a little.
There's not much. I mean, I haven't really heard anything
it is. No, it's pretty divisive. It's but I mean it's around simple things like Coke and Pepsi.
right.
I mean the Pepsi people are vehement, passionate Pepsi people. Really, it's a bit much. But no, I thought so. What I would do was, you know, as we want to do with almost anything, we want to talk about things that are worth talking about, and so that could be anything. But tonight, I wanted to demonstrate what 3 friends could do. Because Shane, you're my friend. We need to remember
Always.
this.
Shane's your friend, I'm not your friend.
No, and Steve, you're my friend. That at the end of this conversation, that we're still friends. Okay.
Still walk away.
Right, we can still walk away. Because so what I thought I would do is I thought I would just shoot for the moon
I like it.
right off the bat, and take what is quite possibly the most divisive topic in the world. Bring it to 3 friends, and this kind of birthed out of Shane and I doing it just over Marco Polo. We tried,
Oh man.
but we didn't succeed.
No.
We did it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And still
Even weeks later.
left with more questions than answers when we were done.
I remember it started with I sent you a note. I said, "Which version of Van Halen do you like better?"
Right. That
like-
was what it was.
Yeah.
That's what
and
it
then
was.
We got into others.
And I clearly said what everyone should say, Van Hagar, which is the truth. As anyone who believed that would say, emphatically, as someone would say, which is the best computer, Mac or PC? Dumb question. We don't even have to answer right now. So we just know. Silly question. So here's my question. So you guys ready tonight for what the question is?
Yes.
Yes.
The most divisive question on the planet Earth, known to mankind, that could be discussed amongst 3 friends. It probably sounds terrible. What is the greatest U2 song?
U2, the band U2. Greatest U2 song.
As opposed to U2, like what?
Spy plane.
What is the greatest U2 spy plane? No.
U2 song of all time.
Again, tonight's presentation is sponsored by...
This is not sponsored.
No, it's not.
By. It never is. We have no sponsors
That's
yet.
our thing. We have no sponsors. So, so the greatest U2 song. And I thought I would lay some ground rules.
Okay.
There are no rules.
Oh.
Right? So studio.
Man, I wish I would have known this.
Studio or live? Doesn't matter.
Well, if there's no ground rules,
You mean you?
does it mean a song that U2 may have written for somebody else? Not that I can even think of one off a hand, but I might be able to come up with something.
I think everything is up for... Oh, really? Yeah, see, I knew it. That's why Shane's here. Shane can do this. I think everything is on the table except for if you choose to bring in Bono Vox's verse in USA for Africa. Feed the world.
Tonight, thank God it's them instead of you.
Because that's it. That's all he has is one line. So if you're
on every version of it, too.
Right. If your entire U2 knowledge base is I really liked what Bono did in that Feed the World song, then
yeah, I didn't even think of that.
You can be a part of the discussion.
I think I'm too young to know that one.
Right, but ooh.
Ow. I didn't mean it that way.
So,
I just mean
Zach. So welcome Zach, the producer, everybody. He's I'm telling you, he's learning on the fly. He's doing quite a good job. It's pretty stressful. So you said you had a favorite U2 song, right?
Well, I have a little bit of YouTube knowledge because
so that changed from last week then.
It didn't change.
It didn't.
I just have really bad memory.
Oh, okay.
So
he's changing his song.
Interesting. Ex-girlfriend of mine was in MBYSO, and they did a thing with a U2 cover band from around here called U253.
Okay.
That kind of forced me to learn a few U2 songs.
Right.
All right.
So.
Which one of their covers?
So which one of their covers? We're going to go ahead and just let you lob your first one out there, and then that'll set our fight.
I really
New Year's Day is a good song.
It is a fine song. Okay.
Yep.
So I just say we just go around. I mean, because this is difficult. This almost feels like this is probably up there with like playing Steve's a board game. It feels like we're about ready to play a board game where you all come in friends, but then it kind of turns a little dark. I don't want that to happen.
I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think
no,
so.
We'll be
either.
fine.
It's about U2 songs. I mean, they're a Christian band.
Right.
So okay. So if you, by the chance, also have an opinion about what the greatest U2 song is, please nail it in the comments below. We will go ahead by the end of the show. We will talk about what your favorite U2 song is. So I'm just going to go out there and say right now I've tried to prepare for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that through our discussion that I will come up with a conclusion. Because I have 3. And I'm stuck. So does anybody feel like they've just got it?
I'm ready to get.
Oh my god.
You start. Yeah, you start, Shane.
So do we want to talk about how do we know this band or why we care?
Why they're the greatest band in the whole wide world?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. I think that would be important.
Oh yeah, like
how
did we get it? Even
it kind of feels like we're eulogizing them or something all of a sudden. Though what
yeah, you're right.
was
well, they
to
haven't
me.
Been, I don't know that I've seen them since quarantine, so who knows what has
Oh
happened
no,
to them,
yeah,
right?
no. Edge is they're doing like little.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing the.
They have a new radio station.
Yeah, they do.
It's fun.
Right.
I listened to it.
Oh.
The Sirius XM.
Sirius XM.
Yeah.
U2. They even have little theme songs.
Rick?
U2X Radio.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
It's worth hearing. It's funny. You can tell it was like the Edge at home recording.
Just doing So I was like,
yeah.
Okay. So what is your So tell us about your passion of U2 because I mean this is.
Oh well, maybe I'll just go to the song because now that I said that, it took me a while. I started looking at websites, even like what do other people choose?
Right.
And there are a lot of the same ones.
Yeah.
But what I ran into is I decided it's U2's song "Bad" because
I know that one.
It's one of my 3.
Because no matter what version of it I hear,
True story.
I get chills.
True story.
It takes me to another place. Beautiful Day says I'll take you to another place,
That's
but
true.
Bad really
Bad
does.
fulfills that.
Yeah, Bad really fulfills that.
It's the tour guide to another place.
I thought it was going to be like Where the Streets Have No Name because live it's just like bam.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was listening to Bad today. I listened to like 5 different versions and to see.
You were doing your research.
Yeah, I was like, does this really hold up?
Yes. Well, okay.
Does this
right.
really hold? Like I was working and I had it going, and I'm like, every version of this song is transporting me.
Great.
And not only that, I think the theme in it's about heroin addiction, and there's so many people with drug addiction and alcoholism and things like that, and I've seen that in my life, like people go through that.
Yeah, for sure.
And the way those lyrics, they just capture exactly the way the person feels who's not able to control the situation and help them.
Sure.
And it also really almost, I don't know how they did that, because it also feels like you can tell the way the person who's in the addiction feels. So that's kind of why I chose that one. Not only that, but the drums are amazing.
Right.
Like, they're just steady.
What was your favorite version of all the live versions, or all the versions you listened to?
It goes between the older ones, 1984 or 85. Well, I love the.
Did you do the Ireland, live in Ireland?
Are you talking of which year? Like, what era? Like,
80s. Yeah.
yeah.
Which year?
Maybe I haven't heard
I
that
think
one.
it was 87. It's a bootleg.
Oh, I think
But
is it
it's
the
a
one where he's
release
wearing the
Yeah, I think he's
dangly
yeah
coat
frilly
thing?
stuff.
I just saw that on the
Sergeant
way.
coat. It's a
Yeah.
sergeant coat. Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Also, Live Aid's pretty good, but I really like Wide Awake in America version. It's the
True.
EP that came out.
True.
I think that's really the definitive one from when it came out compared to the studio one, which seems like they just figured out the song. And of course, the Rattle and Hum version is really strong too. So that's the thing.
I don't know if it competes with the live versions. For me, I don't know if it competes.
No,
with
Rattle
the
and
live
Hum is the live version.
No, I'm talking the Ireland. The Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Rattle and Hum. Did you see Rattle and Hum in the movies theater?
No, it's,
I have it on DVD.
Young man, were you?
I saw it on VHS.
No, I was not around. But I say recently. I think maybe 5 years ago, I found it on DVD and bought it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember where I found it either. But I think I found it at like a Goodwill or something like that on DVD and bought it. And I've seen it. It's pretty cool.
Somebody took it to a Goodwill. Who are you? Who are you?
I know.
I remember we were back when we were in a band, and it was kind of like we had these. We just, when you're in a band, because we were all in a band. In your band, you like everybody. You just do things as a band.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're all like band things.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably a little ashamed to say it now. We as a band thing, we watched Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
And then I was
the
at a
best.
movie. I was at a DVD store with my wife, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we totally used to watch that movie when we were in this band. We should get that." So we rented
Then you
it.
tried watching it with your wife.
You're like, this doesn't
It's
work
like,
with my wife.
Within
I
like
forgot.
the first, no, it doesn't work with anybody. It's like it's like you get that same look, when somebody says, "Yeah, I watch Game of Thrones," and you go,
This one goes to 11.
"No, I know." It's so it has these great moments, but it was very much like that. So Rattle and Hum at the movies was that for us. We literally like got in there. We were just all jacked up to watch this, and I think we ended up sitting in like the front row, second row.
Was it that full?
Yeah, it was terrible. So it was like,
Oh man.
oh boy,
Looking up
And it
Bono's
was-
nose.
Right, and there's all the and there's like all this deep kind of stuff going on throughout that's threaded in
Right.
Rattle and Hum,
Yeah.
and you really can't get it when you're like,
And their heads and they're shaped like
sure,
this.
this is super profound, but I've got
This is come on.
can't get my neck to really work out. So no, I would say you kind of shot the gun right off the bat there. That's pretty good. I would say it's hard to argue. That's the thing is I don't know if we'll.
I don't know.
I
There's-
don't know if a
that's the
conclusion
problem.
is possible.
There's
I know.
so many good ones.
All right, Stefan, what?
Well, I'm. It's hard
You're
to.
more of an Iron Maiden guy, right?
No, I
Okay,
wasn't.
sorry.
I was never an Iron.
And we can't play
No,
the
I
music
like-
here,
no
right?
one really
It's
was.
Copyright.
Oh yeah,
I've
we'll
always-
get booted.
I've always loved you two, but
Thank you.
I'm.
I love you too.
I
The
like
two
a
of you,
lot.
yeah.
I like you a lot.
I love
too.
the two of you. But I don't know. Maybe it was just because of when I heard them
Right.
and what I heard at the time. Like the first song that I think I remember really hearing, which is this is gonna be terrible because it's one of the worst movies. It's the whatever Batman movie that they were on the soundtrack of. That one for me is the one that pops up.
Right.
Not as the best song,
Right.
obviously, but that's my first
That's your
kind of real
introduction?
memory to you two. Not that that's
hard.
I had
I
heard
love
them
that song.
before that,
Right.
but for whatever reason, when I try to think back to when it like really popped out to me that they were a band of
Right.
really anything, even
Right.
though I grew up on MTV and all that, and all that other stuff was still there. But I was very small at the time, so that stuff didn't really stick to where I knew who they were.
Sure.
But I heard that, and of course at the time that movie was cool. But which Batman was it? I can't even remember. now.
Forever.
Forever.
Batman Forever. Yeah, it's an awful movie. But
That's my reaction. It's because I hate every Batman movie. There's not
Oh,
one.
every single one.
Every single one except for the one with Jack Nicholson as
the first
Jack
the-
Nicholson
yeah,
and
yeah.
or
Michael
Jack Nicholson
Keaton.
as
Those
as-
first two are great.
Yeah.
But I mean the Tim Burton ones are great.
Well,
Oh.
except for that one line. It's the car.
It's the guy.
Chicks take the car.
Oh, isn't that on
was-
Batman Forever?
That was Keaton. That
Oh,
that
that's
was the one
Keaton.
line. That was his one line. It's the no, that's Val Kilmer.
I think it was Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. It's the car. Chicks take the car.
Yeah, Nicole
That's,
Kidman.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a great line. Everything else,
Right.
Okay, so anyway, so your YouTube
Well,
breaking
Kilmer's
news-
bat suit
Yeah, that's good too.
was not good.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, but
That
so
was-
for me, my introduction to it was that, I think, as far as where I kind of at the time realized, oh, this is a band, and then I looked into it a little more, and then of course you fall into going from the order at that time. I don't even know how many albums that they had out at that point, but quite a few, I'm sure, by
Eight
the
or nine.
early '90s.
8? You think so? That high?
Well, if you count the EPs,
Oh yeah.
But I had a
Purist. That's what happens when you're talking to a
Oh, yeah.
purist. When you're everybody
am
else
not
will be
a-
like
I am not a
3.
purist.
I think there's Joshua Tree. Did they do anything other than Joshua Tree? Just a couple things.
that's pretty much what
Sunday
I'm about
Bloody
to
Sunday
say.
on Joshua
Yeah.
Tree.
But
I think they wrote a song called War.
So I remember that coming out, and then I went over to my uncle's house, and my aunt, she was a huge just album collector in general, and she also liked U2, so she had every single U2 anything at the time. So I think I was watching their house or something at the time, or feeding their dog when they were gone, and just one afternoon when I was there, I decided to just go through and listen to everything. And I do remember Octoon Baby a lot. That one really stood out to me because it was completely different than the first couple albums, which were really the stuff that stuck in my head all the time, as U2, you know,
Sure.
Joshua Tree and all that, and War or whatever it was. War.
How did they disappear for you during the Zooropa phase?
Yeah, I think because that was close to the time when I started getting to playing my own music and stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
And,
And that was probably bitter, actually.
yeah.
Shane and I disagree on that particular thing.
But for me, and I have two parts to this as far as to like I'll tell you my favorite song, which is it's one of the more predictable, which is Sunday Bloody Sunday. I've always liked that song.
It's a good song.
Super good song. For me that's what U2 is for me. And again, I'm more of a basic U2 fan.
Sure.
But I've always enjoyed their writing stuff. It's just for whatever reason, anytime I'd hear another album and kind of listen to it, I'm like, that's cool.
Right.
And then I would just go right back to listen to Joshua
yeah,
Tree.
yeah, right.
Like to me, that's
Right.
always what it was.
Right.
There's something specific about that era, which was their first few albums.
Right.
And maybe it's because I'm a drummer, and I think the drums in those first couple albums,
Way back. Way
for
off.
me,
Yeah,
it's just
good,
that
yeah.
it was very much that kind of very rhythmic,
Yeah.
kind of not even stand out in the front of anything really, but I don't know, there's just something to the drums during that time, and me being a drummer, for whatever reason, that's always
Totally.
stuck to me, because later on, not that it was bad stuff later on, but
Right.
drums wise there was some really good stuff later on, but
Yeah.
it became more either doing this almost the exact same thing as those first couple albums,
Right.
or just playing just straight stuff, which is great because he's a very good drummer. But
It felt that those early albums. I mean, I felt like the first album, like I mean, even when you go like to like Electric Company, you know, and that stuff was like
Ooh.
straightforward, like get it rock. You know, that's kind of when they were getting at, and then all of a sudden, like with Joshua Tree, because that's when they went away. They went to the castle, right? That's when they were in the castle at Joshua Tree. Is when they went and recorded.
Oh,
I think they
Unforgettable
recorded.
Fire they did.
Oh, Unforgettable Fire.
But they did
Yeah,
it in a
no.
house too. Also,
No, but they got away
Oh, yeah, the little
and they
house.
started getting. You're right. It's Unforgettable Fire was in the castle. They started getting really creative and started getting super innovative, and I think that's when Larry got really innovative, and Edge has kind of always been innovative.
Yeah,
I
that's-
think Edge is the way. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, you know. I mean, I can't even touch. I couldn't even carry his guitar case. So, but it feels like Edge created this genre of guitar innovation, and he's never really abandoned it. You
No.
know, it's kind of there. Like this
Yeah.
is like it's kind of like when you hear. Well, I don't know if you know the understand. It's kind of like when you hear a Boston song. Like when you
Yeah.
hear a Boston song,
You
it's
know
that
it.
it's that Rockman amp. It's
yeah,
that Rockman
that
amp.
specific
and it's
sound.
That,
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of. It's the same thing with a U2 song. Say U2 song, as soon as you're like, oh yeah, that's Edge
the
playing,
Edge.
or somebody
Right.
really, really trying hard.
And then that whole document, that what is it? It Might Get Loud that he was in. I
Right.
love that documentary.
good
I
one.
dug that stuff because there's really good information in there about history of U2, and of course a couple other, you know, Jack White and
Led Zeppelin.
That's really
Zeppelin
good.
and all
Yeah.
that. But
Jimmy
he
Page.
he explains in that how you would normally play a chord, and because he wanted it to be bright and just basically out in front of him, he would play the highest version essentially
Of the
is what
chord.
of the chord, so it was just like bing,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
right out
Like
there. So that's
chiming.
really that sound.
Right.
You know, it's the same chords as we're playing, but he plays it in even more simple way. A lot of his stuff is not super complicated
Right,
at all.
right.
But he uses the effects and all that to build that really. interesting sound. But
Well, even like the layers that he puts in where the
Yeah.
streets have no name.
yeah,
Like when you listen to that, it's just it's I feel like I'm over. I'm just trying to be careful to not be too overstating tonight, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna be weird.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be weird tonight. The beginning of Where the Streets Have No Name is like, for me, that's transcendent. Like that song sucks you. Like the minute you start,
Oh,
hearing,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
this vortex comes that says if you like.
I dare you to
literally
look
fast,
away.
Yeah, I dare you to like. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go move to Madonna right now. I mean, it's just it pulls you in,
Right.
and it's like you are about ready to encounter something amazing. Just strap on. Just you may not understand it right now, and then it just gets in. Then
and even that song has this amazing time signature change in the middle of it with the
Right.
same delay,
right.
which is just
Yeah, that is
nutty.
pretty crazy.
When you're just listening to it, and because me being a drummer, you're like, okay, how you play this certain beat with that first part of it,
Right.
And then all of a sudden it switches, and I actually I had never seen them because I didn't. Like I said, I'm more of the first couple albums kind of
Sure.
guy, so I'm like, they'll play some of those songs, but I'm
Right.
not going to sit through 2-3 hours of a bunch of stuff that is cool, and it's U2, great, cool show or whatever, but to me, that's a lot of money anyways to see U2.
It is.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I had the
Keeps going
opportunity. I had a
Keeps going up.
I had
remember
the
it was
opportunity
$26.
yeah, I had the opportunity to go see them on the Joshua Tree tour, which for me was the perfect tour to be able to go see because they're playing the album
Right.
That
that
you-
for me is my favorite album. So I'm like, cool. And then I was like, okay, there's no way I'm getting a ticket to that because at the time I couldn't even afford to go. And I was like, well, that's a bummer, but whatever. I'm not that. I'm not going to be that upset about it. I'll find a live version of them and just watch it that way. It'd be
Sure,
cool.
for sure.
And I had a brother-in-law, brother and sister-in-law who bought 4 tickets because they were going to go, and then he bought some for his brother and his brother's wife or girlfriend, whatever. And the 2 of them dropped out, and they're like, well, you guys want to buy the tickets? I was like, I can't afford to buy the tickets from you. And I
Yeah.
appreciate the offer, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then, like, the day of, because they couldn't find anybody to buy the tickets, he goes, you guys just want to go? We're just like, yep. And it was awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
It was amazing. And for me, to be able to see them and have that album played, I mean, I probably came close to tears a few times during that show.
Oh, yeah.
It was just
I
amazing.
come close to tears
me.
watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, it was an
Imagine.
incredible show.
As
But for that album, like I said, for me, that album specifically, and then that song specifically, it's just always, I don't know, maybe it was one of the earlier ones that inspired me to start playing music later on.
Sure.
Because honestly, that album, I think it was War, and that album, when I was even in my first metal band,
Sure.
hardcore band, those were the 2 albums that we pretty much played constantly. We listened to
Right.
that and like Keith Green. Which is the weird.
Which is kind of the same.
We used to pull up in our van,
Do
bumping
you
either
see?
U2, and at the time we'd been a band for a few years,
Right, right.
and we were pretty hardcore, southern, not southern, Northern California kind of Deftonesy,
Yeah, sure.
POD-ish
Oh, yeah.
sort of that
Oh, yeah.
style of
Rockin'
music.
U2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd either pull up playing U2, which confused a lot of people because
Right.
all those metalhead punk kids didn't
Right.
listen to U2. of
No
course.
way.
But my favorite
Secretly,
reaction
they
was,
probably
my
did.
favorite was when we pull up just blaring Keith Green because they were like, "What in the heck are you?"
Right.
And they thought it was a joke. And I was like, "We really like Keith Green, actually."
Do you see? Do you see? So, as a guitar player, is it hard to replicate U2 riffs?
You have to
say.
when it comes
You
to
gotta work.
You
at
got to
it.
have like 10 pedals, but other than that,
That's what
it's
I'm
not
saying.
too
It's,
hard.
you gotta. It's not just about learning the chords or the different parts. It's about learning what effects the guy uses.
Right.
Because if you don't have those, you can't replicate it. There's even like the song Elevation. He has some effect that I've never heard anybody do. It's like this.
That
Yeah. And I've read about it. It's like 2 different types of distortion pedals. He's always buying some new gadget.
Yeah. Well, now
And
he
that's
has that
kinda
whole
He's
part.
got a blender in between it.
Yeah.
Like, when I turn it on.
Yeah. But that's kind of one of the reasons I thought it was really. I really like innovation anyway, so I thought it was really cool how he was willing to go outside of the box. And
For sure.
I've seen him do some pretty fast guitar solos if you kind of look in.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's like, I'm not going to do that. I think I remember the Edge saying, I look at every note as precious. Like,
Wow.
let's try to find that right note that really grabs the person
Right.
rather than just be like acrobatics.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his live rig on Live in Chicago, it's a store.
yeah.
There's a store behind him of effects and racks.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm thinking, I have an amp on my wall.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a Laney Line 6, and it has a couple of knobs that you turn, and it's like got fuzz
Yeah.
and phaser fuzz. I'm
That-
good.
that was
That's all
all-
I need.
That's all I need.
That was all hugely influential on me.
But
dude.
he has a Guitar Center behind him. Like literally,
Yeah.
it's like Guitar,
Guitar
Center
Center.
just pulled up and went, "Hey,
Here you go.
plug into this." And
It's like every album he buys a new toy.
Right.
yeah. I mean, do you think maybe there's some that he doesn't use? They're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think now, I
Kind
don't
of
know,
like fake Marshall Stacks with a heavy metal band. Kind of
It's a wall of Marshall
We,
stacks,
uh,
and it's not really.
they're
and the
all-
amps behind. Actually, did you notice at the Joshua Tree show there were no amps on stage? I don't know if you.
There was
noticed.
nothing
There
on
was
stage.
nothing
Yeah,
on
It
stage.
was-
because
yeah.
now they're using all that, all those simulators, which have gotten really good.
Yeah.
To the point where a lot of bands are going away from live amps on the stage and they're using these simulators.
Yeah, it's
amp
interesting.
simulators.
There's
and
a
they
guy.
sound really good.
There's a guy named Joe Bonamassa. He's like a blues
I
guitar
know
player.
him.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's
really
great.
good blues. And I watched his rundown after listening to him for a long time, and he's just a really good musician. And you see the stage stuff, and he has like a million amps on there, and then he does like the big thing in the last I don't want to say 5 years is like gear rundown, a lot of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, I watch those.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So they go to him, and he just kind of, he's like, when they first take off, you can tell he's like, this is going to make people laugh. Because he goes, see the stage here? My guitar's not plugged into any of that stuff.
yeah.
And you go back behind the curtain, it's a 412 cab with a head, and then a little
laptop
stack a little stack next to it,
Right.
and the output that's going into the thing, it's not even mic'd. He's going direct into the system
Oh,
too.
serious? Okay.
And apparently, it's this amazing new thing, and it's probably what that is. It's
The
this
simulator,
incredible new
yeah.
simulator that he plugs directly into that, and his whole setup out on the stage is basically just
Well, we kind
Just
of do
for
that
show.
with our sound system that we use at Encounter is
yeah.
like that. I mean, it's like you have your soundboard that's on your laptop,
Yeah.
and then you can buy all of these like
plugins,
plugins.
and all that
head
stuff.
amps and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and
Make it
That's
sound
how
however
it's
you want.
getting.
super compressors and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's great. As a drummer, I mean, obviously every drummer in the world has made an attempt at the intro to Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the first things
Larry,
I learned.
I mean, where would you rank Larry? I mean, innovation, I think he's probably off the charts just because he's in such an innovative band. You
Right.
kind of have to be
Yeah.
innovative just by nature. But as like, I would say Larry has some of the best cardio
Yeah, the dude's just like
of
nonstop.
any drummer
going. No,
in the whole wide world.
to me, it's hard to say because I feel like every drummer, if they've played any length of time and they've got their own groove, regardless if it's complicated or not. I
Right.
wouldn't say Larry is not a technically complicated drummer. But there are things that he does that I can't figure out how to do, even though I'm listening to it and it's like, that's really basic. I have to really sit down and study it to figure
Right.
it out. Because, I mean, here's one thing that I've realized, and I don't know if this is true or not, but for me, listening to him play live, different things, and album recordings, I feel like, and it's kind of how I play as well, I'm more play to what we're doing at that time, and it might slightly change later on. I
Sure,
mean,
sure.
you can listen to Sunday Bloody Sunday and all these where it's the drum, and there's certain hits that are the same as in the recording,
Right.
but even the stuff from the recording, there's no real pattern to how he is doing it. Like he's not hitting the double
Right,
here
right,
on
right,
purpose
right.
over and over.
Right.
It's like, and I've tried listening to it over. I was like, he's just feeling it at the time. So for me, as far as what I can tell,
Right.
is he's more of a feeler kind of drummer.
Yeah.
He goes even live every recording of stuff. I've heard multiple live recordings of the same stuff, and
Right.
there are that specific groove that's there.
Right.
But the way he's playing it may not be identical to any other time he's ever played it. Which
So we're not talking Neil Peart instructional video.
Right, exactly.
By any stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a funny thing is because you imagine somebody like Neil Peart who's like,
Oh man,
plays
You
it
can never-
yeah.
replicate that.
You never. I don't think I've ever seen Larry do anything remotely close to that.
No.
Ever. That like a. It's just that's just not
him.
in their
Yeah.
their thing. He's just more like I think I'm just gonna make this all happen. And
Right.
It's like,
I'm
And
gonna
I
put a
dig
tom
it.
on this
I
side.
really
Yeah.
dig it. And
I
he's-
think. I think what. Yeah.
It's-
It's small.
He-
double crash
to me.
or-
To me, it's similar. I mean, you can
Not
take his
double
drumming,
crash.
which is more of like a feel kind of drummer. There's specifics that he plays, but it's a lot by feel and at the time.
Right.
And then you have like for me another drummer that's not specifically like that, but one that's not incredibly technical or anything.
Sure.
But you're talking Ringo Starr from the Beatles.
Right.
It's the same kind of deal, I think.
But it is the
That
same
is
kind
the
of
same
deal.
kind of
It's
deal.
not
That's
super
really
comic,
good.
but the
for the
sound
song.
and it's perfect for the
Right.
song. And I've gone from being I've been how long have I been playing drums now? 18 some odd years, something like that, somewhere around 18 years. I've gone from trying to be a super technical drummer to just falling into a groove where I'm super comfortable. I don't get bored,
Right.
but I play I found more excitement in playing with what's going on around me at the time. I feel, and I think that's
Right.
why one of the reasons why I appreciate U2's drums and even guitar and stuff like that,
Right.
but the drums specifically because that's just how I play as well. You know,
Right.
it doesn't have to be complicated. And the funny thing is you get compliments and stuff. Oh, you're a really good drummer. And I'm thinking I did barely anything there.
My kick drum is a suitcase.
There is nothing complicated. There's nothing complicated about what I'm doing.
Right.
And I watch all these other incredible YouTube drummers, which are phenomenal drummers.
Mm-hmm.
But that only works as a drummer playing over an electronic track.
Right.
You
right,
couldn't
right.
do that
couldn't do
in a
that.
band unless
Yeah.
you're playing in some kind of tech metal band, which I totally love as well. Like, I love drummers, I love musicians, that kind of stuff. But there's a place for these certain things, and I just think their drums, for me, I think it was probably one of the intros as far as groove and feel goes, and introduced me into music and stuff like that.
I think honestly, and this is going to seem kind of random, but one of my favorite drum intro. I mean, obviously, Sunday Blindy Sunday is iconic.
Yeah.
But the intro to Bullet the Blue Sky
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's a really good one.
is
I would say, as far as drum goes, that's probably one of my favorite
Right.
drum. It's a good song in general, but
It's
the
gr- yeah.
drums in that one.
yeah. Well, because I mean, it just like punches you in the face, like right.
Oh yeah, right away.
And you're just like, and I mean, when I tried to play it, because he's doing an eighth there. You know,
Yeah. But if you think about it and you
I'm like,
and you line
I
it
can't
up,
do that.
if you line that drum up, how he's playing that with some of the other stuff early on, it's the same groove. It's the same
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, yeah.
It's these
Same
little same vibe. He
but
has
it's just,
that vibe
he,
in it. But
he
that,
kind of somehow flies that plane right underneath everything Edge is doing.
yeah,
And it's like, it feels like two different, because it's two different worlds. Edge is doing these like diving, bends. You know, so he's doing all these diving bends, and he's like just,
yeah.
Keeping
driving
the
about
groove.
like just a solid 75 miles an hour. It's not too fast, not too slow. He's just like, yeah, but it's just in your face and it's not stopping, and you're just like, this is amazing. Which kind of leads me to the oddness of probably one of the most obviously, clearly the most unsung member of U2, which would be Adam Clayton.
I was gonna say we
Because
got to bring up Adam,
because Adam Clayton is
I don't know that I know who Adam Clayton
he's
is.
a bass
the
player.
bass player.
Oh,
Man.
yeah. I'm
The
mad
most
with the
Oh, I
unsung
see what you're
member.
doing there.
Oh, that's good.
No, I didn't do that on
that's-
purpose. No, I'm that bad with names
you
and
should've
band
ran with
members.
it. That would have been a good joke. Adam Clayton, because Adam Clayton is a phenomenal bass player.
Yeah, he's another simple player.
Yeah, but he is a. That's what I think about the thing you could say about U2, and there's not a lot of bands you can say that about. That they are deep. They're deep into artistry. Like
Right.
I mean, Rush, hugely deep into artistry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're painting when they make
Yeah.
music. They're
Yeah.
That's good. I just feel comfortable. I can just say weird words. They are painting.
they're like
with
at the
music.
top of their game
Yeah,
with their
they are
instruments
painting.
too.
I watched a documentary on them.
Oh, me too.
I guess. Oh my gosh, they were just.
I love that
They were
documentary.
nerds.
They're big
Oh,
nerds.
yeah.
So
Sorry,
nerds.
Rush.
Yeah, I know, they were such nerds, and I was shocked at how much Neil Peart wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wrote
He wrote all the
lot.
lyrics.
Yeah, he wrote all the lyrics, and but he was like into wizards and board games.
Oh,
and
yeah,
weird
yeah.
crazy stuff.
You wouldn't think that about that guy.
Well, and they were touring. I guess they were saying, maybe you saw the same documentary I was?
I think I
there was
saw
one
it
of the
too.
bands that was touring with them, and they wrote down like all their lyrics on a card, and they held the card up with like these question marks, like what the
What
heck
does
is
this
this
mean?
about? While Geddy Lee is singing it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like what?
He's like, I don't know, I didn't write it.
But anyway, yeah, so back to Adam Clayton. Adam Clayton, probably one of the just. I think it's hard to find a bass player like an Adam Clayton that is actually as good as he is, and
So unique too.
yeah, unique, good, and yet is willing to just kind of fill that
That space.
supporting role that is because he's probably as good, if not well, and I would say he's as good as like a Billy Sheehan, but a Billy Sheehan is going to be, Billy Sheehan is so good at bass that he's got the Billy Sheehan band.
Yeah.
That's when you're like
You're
that
the
guy.
leader of the band.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
you're
it's
a
like
bass player.
the only guitar player that was good enough to play with Billy Sheehan was Steve Vai.
Yeah.
So it was like Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan got together and hired Jesus to play drums for them, and they just put out this super group that lasted for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But but that's the thing about Adam Clayton is he's so amazing, and yet he did I think that's one of the things that made him so good is he was just kind of like back there smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Just kinda like,
He's come a long way. I think he just had a kid, and he got married.
Did he really?
I don't think he smokes anymore.
yeah. I think he was the only one that got arrested for dope in an airport, right?
And he
That was
quit
good.
drinking.
He quit
I
drinking.
think he had a spiritual turnaround.
Way to go, Adam.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Way to go.
But about his playing, I mean,
Yeah, enough about his personal life.
yeah, I don't really know that.
I called him yesterday.
Yeah, he said hello.
He said hi. Yeah, he wanted to let me know you guys were. He said don't leave him out.
Don't leave him out. Yeah, when you think about some of his bass lines, like I think part of the way he played led the Edge to doing some of those high things too. 'Cause I guess I read that he was like he played really high on the bass and didn't play a lot of low notes when they started. But I was thinking about the fact that as musicians, those guys really didn't know how to play when they started at
No.
all.
Right.
And when you even if you look at that, you see it's really inspiring because you could be terrible, but if you look at how far they've come
It's
based
right.
on that, it's like I could do that too.
They're a long
Yeah.
way from street missions.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Oh,
that,
my
I think there's only like 4
goodness.
chords in street missions.
Street
Street missions!
Oh, that old stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Street missions!
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
there's
That was
only
not
2
a hard
chords.
song to write.
Yeah.
It's not a hard song to
No,
write.
but Bad has like 2 chords, right?
That's true.
But that was another thing when I was listening to Bad today.
well,
I
so
was
is
like,
Hawkmoon too, right?
Yeah, Hawkmoon.
Hawkmoon same day?
oh man, the live version, the one I sent you guys one. You guys don't know about it.
I intentionally did not look. I didn't want to be.
Yeah, so let's look at it later.
Now I can look at them.
They changed all the chords on that, and it's really cool live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a different version than the album.
Have
There's
you
all kinds of that
have you ever heard Always?
Yeah, different version of Beautiful
A
Day.
different version of Beautiful Day.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard that song?
No, I don't think so.
It's Beautiful Day. Actually, it's almost A to Z. Beautiful Day.
Mhm.
But instead
you
of
know what?
it's a beautiful day,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like always. And I'm like, I don't know.
that actually became the backing vocal.
We got a dog barking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can hear it.
Oh, there you go.
I
They
have-
write songs weird too. Like
yeah.
they like take parts of songs and turn them into other songs, and
That's because you can.
There's a bit of something that I'm curious about if either of you would know, and I would assume because you guys are, as far as I know, the biggest U2 fans ever and know all the B-sides
there are
and all
more
that stuff.
but yes.
yeah,
Um,
There's probably people on Facebook right now going, not even close. I'm the biggest U2 fan ever.
yeah.
there's a movie
I know some
I
of those
believe
guys.
that Bono did the soundtrack for.
$1 Million Hotel.
Yes, he did. Yep. Have you seen that movie?
I have
Mel
not.
Gibson.
I
have
love that movie.
Yeah,
Really?
it's,
I
yeah,
love it. It's weird.
yeah.
It's got Mila Jovovich, Mel Gibson in it.
Really?
It's weird.
Jeremy
It's
Irons.
and I think actually Bono wrote
He
the
wrote the
script
script.
for it.
He did
What?
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to watch
Yeah.
it.
I have it. I'll let you
Because
borrow
I'm
it.
so much not a movie guy. That's why when we ever do a vidcast,
I'm trying to think if there's anything that might put him off in the movie.
There's a couple weird things, but
Because I'm so sensitive. I am.
No, I know.
I'm
I
super- I'm
just
super
know how you like to watch movies.
No, you know, I actually my favorite because I do have a movie U2 related. My entrance music for my groomsmen was Larry's version of Mission Impossible.
oh man,
Oh,
that's
really?
cool.
Yeah,
I did something
like I had
similar
all my groomsmen were.
I knew it was Mission
Like,
Impossible. I didn't
yeah.
realize that's what it was.
Yeah,
that
no, it was
version of
Larry's
was
version.
with
And it
Adam
was,
and Larry.
there was guys jumping out of baptismals
Yep.
and like coming up, and they were all they had guns in their hands
Dude,
and stuff like
that's
that. As we're
awesome.
all going to the front, and like it's just like. You know, because it's like this total
That's so
jam
cool,
version
man.
of it.
I love that
But
version.
yeah, no, Larry and Adam's version of Mission Impossible is like, and it's like those are the last two people you would think that would put a version like that
yeah.
together. It,
Yeah, I didn't realize it really shows you they're part of the songwriting. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just Bono. And,
it's crazy
Yeah.
melodic, and it's kind of almost this like,
groove.
yeah, it's a.
Bono shows up in that movie too a couple times. He doesn't have.
$1 Million
He
Hotel.
has no lines, but he'll be.
Really?
He's in the background. It's,
He's
I mean,
there.
they pan back.
He
him
does the whole
past him,
Hitchcock
obviously.
thing where he's
Yeah. He's there a few times.
Really?
Yeah, the whole basis
Alright.
of the movie is this
For that, I would
is
watch
this
it, I guess.
hotel, and somebody dies. Either they think they got thrown off the building or they committed suicide.
Oh,
So Mel Gibson's character is a detective, and he's showing up to figure out. And this hotel is basically a bunch of drug addicts and crazy people that are just living in this thing, and he's having to deal with all these insane people.
It's the same hotel that did the Where the Streets Have No Name video on top of.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
I
in
didn't realize
downtown
that.
LA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's cool, and yeah, Bono did it, and it's funny and weird, and
Yeah.
and Mel
Didn't
Gibson.
get a lot of good reviews, but
No, it's one of those kind of indie
Nah.
indie things. But it's one
I
of
liked it.
it's one of my top 10 favorite movies. I
yeah,
think.
I liked it too.
That's super good. I'm looking to see if there's any comments or questions that we need to answer because as we get ready to wrap up.
How many people
here.
are watching? One person.
Okay,
still?
no, we got a quick few. One. Okay, there we go. Craig Hilling. Craig, how you doing?
Hey, Craig.
Hey, Craig. I don't know who Craig is.
He's my friend.
Let's
My
see.
friend, my friend.
Do I
We
know
used to be in
Craig?
a band
One
together.
is the greatest U2 song.
Craig says that.
Yes, Craig says one is the greatest U2 song. I would say that is safe. Okay, I'm ready. I'll go into the pool now. This is good. The discussion has been helpful enough for me to
You're not
feel
wrong.
like,
Every U2 song is the greatest
that's true.
U2
You're
song.
not wrong. That's true.
One is a good song.
Because Bad is my like driving down the road.
That's what I was doing today on the way here.
You know.
He pushes his vocals so hard.
Oh, he does. Well, when doesn't he?
Right.
I mean,
That's very true.
he does. Oh, see, I'm going to get off on that again. Yeah, he does like when he does the at Live Aid,
Yeah.
the Groovy Tuesday thing, and he just starts vamping. It's so. I just, as a prophetic, singer, like I love to sing prophetically. It's like I so resonate with what he's doing. I'm like, oh, this is like the best thing
That's
ever.
one of the reasons I like that song.
Kind of.
It always does that.
Right. He just has all this room, but you just never know. I mean, you watch Live in Chicago, and all of a sudden he starts doing it again. And I mean,
It's like his space
his
to do that.
his connection with the audience and pulling people up from the audience is miles from Bruce Springsteen pulling Courtney Cox up in the middle of dancing.
Hey, that's the boss, man. Don't make fun of the
it's
boss.
just not.
the
It's
boss.
not the same. It's just not
No.
the same. But here's so Bad. I'm there. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm with you on Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Sunday Bloody Sunday. Although that was
One.
not in my top 3. Beautiful Day, because
It was in mine.
of the way it's done would be my honorable mention. But honestly, I think the song Vertigo is another jam that I have. But my song, and it's live, is Origin of the Species from Live in Chicago.
I'm going to have to listen to those.
Because that song just is like the most, for me, when because I'm watching him sing it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm watching at that point, because Live in Chicago is like what,
7 or 8 or something.
mid
6.
yeah. You're watching an entire history unfold when he's singing that song, and where he is with his family, where the band is starting to become their family. They're all starting to kind of get older, but they've come to this place where they still got it. It's they never could have foreseen the iTunes debacle coming at that point. Everything was still okay, and then
the free album.
and then
Yet
Steve
they
Jobs-
tried it again later with the iPhone.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "What's on my phone?"
Steve Jobs should stick to computers. Well, now it was. I remember talking to my brother-in-law.
You got the U2 iPod, right?
Oh yeah, no, I still have it in a
And all
box.
the songs.
Yep,
and
all the songs that
everything.
came
Me
with
too.
it. It was great. That was like my best.
Oh, that was so
You got
cool.
the iPod, and then you got
Every single album.
you got the
single,
UPod, and then you got the iPod. You got the UPod. You got
The UPod.
You got the
UPod.
iPod, and
The
then
YouTube
you got
pod.
a certificate in the iPod to buy all the albums for $99.
Yeah,
They gave them to you,
You-
and then
No. You bought
right.
the U2 iPod, which is a red. It was a Vertigo.
Got it.
Black
It was
and red.
got it.
Black and red, like the Vertigo album. How does
Mine
Mel Tom
died.
the Bomb? And then I better get on it actually, because probably the 16-pin plug. I gotta get one. I don't think I have one. But yeah, it's got their signatures all engraved on the back. So it's this limited edition U2 iPod, and then in it is a coupon that you could buy every
album up until then.
album. And so I was like, I'm on that.
And it had a couple of rare things.
Oh yeah, there was rare stuff on it. There was all sorts
Songs
of
that weren't on the albums and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It was good. That's the first time I heard Always. I just went bonkers. But U2 has a lot of Northwest history.
Yeah. Portland.
They played actually, because remember when I was in junior high school, U2 never came to Seattle ever, and there's folklore behind it, which actually turns out it's kind of true. My uncle was in the record business. Actually, my uncle was fun fact, he actually started the Starbucks music division.
Right.
Oh,
He was actually
yeah.
working at a record store called Urban Renewal that he owned, and it was all like Husker Du and all
Yeah.
these college bands and stuff like
Right.
that. And then that all went under. He literally locked the door on his business, walked across the street, and got a job at the Starbucks when it went under.
Oh man.
And he started playing these mixes in the store, and Howard Schultz, no lie, Howard Schultz came in and and was like, people are really liking these mixes and stuff you do. Would you consider doing another one? He did another one. They started playing it in the U District
Mm-hmm.
and a couple other shops, and they're kind of like, wow, you kind of have a knack for this. And so he started doing all these things, and then they created a Blue Note Jazz album.
Mm-hmm.
That was their first album.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bought Blue Note Records in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden my uncle went from barista to like the president of the Starbucks music division, and like they did all this crazy stuff. But so I got it. So it was a good way to get tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You have an
that's so
uncle
cool.
on the inside. But so fun fact, I don't know if you know this. So U2 played Astro Park in '79.
I did not know this.
U2 played Astro Park in '79. Bono had all of the lyrics to October in a briefcase.
Oh, I knew this, but I don't think it's 79.
I was '79, wasn't it?
October came out in 81.
Okay. Well, no. But no, they played Astro Park in '79, and he had all the lyrics to October. They hadn't recorded October yet. He had all the lyrics to October in a briefcase, and someone stole the briefcase.
Yeah, and they finally found it, right?
And I don't know. Did they find it?
Yeah, so there's these girls that
Oh,
actually
that's right,
confessed
right.
to finding it in Portland. It was in Portland, and they returned it to him
Oh.
all these years later.
Yeah.
So the second album they had to do he had to do
Right.
it on the fly.
Yeah,
and
so
make it up
maybe,
on the
maybe it was
spot.
80, but yeah, so it was before October.
It would've had to
so
be
he
80.
he made a vow that he would never come back to Seattle because
of that
somebody
reason.
stole stuff in
Yeah.
Astor Park.
Oh
And
man,
I was like, and it always ticked me off because I was always asking my uncle, how come U2 never comes here? And he's like, it's a long story. And then when was the first time they came? Because they toured.
they didn't come here in the Joshua Tree.
Yeah, no, they came. They toured a couple times and skipped Seattle. I'm like, morons.
It's
What
a
do you guys-
major city too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I saw
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a
90
lot of bitterness. That's
Yeah.
deep-rooted stuff.
I don't think they came here till '92 or something.
Yeah, it
And
was.
That's when I
Wow.
saw them.
It was because I had friends who would be like, "Well, yeah, we're going to Vancouver to go see
Go see
U2. Like, you're going to Canada to go see U2."
Mhm.
I'm like, "Wow,
Isn't that
Yeah.
that's crazy? The whole '80s they pretty much didn't come.
skipped it." That's bitterness right there. He's healed now.
Yeah, he got his lyrics back.
He's better now.
Yeah.
He got his lyrics back. It's so true. But yeah, no, I would say that would
Original of the species.
yeah, original species was just the whole thing, and just even the whole, it's just because it's that song goes to so many different places.
Mhm.
You know, it's kind of having this melodic kind of, and then it goes in the and you're
Yeah.
just kind of like, what just happened to me here? And it's just such a good song. I just really can't believe it.
I don't know if you've heard this, but you should check out they put a different version out on the single than the album version,
No,
and it's kind of different.
really
Yeah, they did that with All Because of You as well. There's a few songs.
yeah no,
where they redid some
Yeah.
of them.
that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would be your honorable mention as we wrap up here?
All 20 different ones.
All 20.
Mine will be
know.
funny.
You
Right.
go ahead
Okay,
and do
okay,
yours
good
while
one.
I think.
So it would be the first song that I heard from them, which
Hold
was
Me,
on the
Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Thrill Me.
yeah, on the Batman soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's actually not a bad song.
No, it's not a
either.
bad song.
It's probably the only good thing about
It's
that
actually-
movie.
It's a terrible movie.
Delve
trying to
into
think of
those
what-
lyrics.
Yeah,
Won't you tell me, Jesus?
No, it's
Go down
good.
on
it's
one
it's a good song. That would be my honorable
That's a
mention,
good-
just because it was one of the first ones that kind of I don't know if it introduced me, but it's like I said, it's the one that kind of
U2's
solidified that they were a
library
band
will,
to listen to.
U2's library will probably be up there when our kids are grown up, like
The
the
Beatles
Beatles
are.
library.
Yeah, probably.
It'll be like, and Justin Bieber will be the one who owns it
yeah.
instead of Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Justin Bieber like, I bought the entire U2 library.
Because I like 90s U2 as well, I got to put
Okay.
one in there. And I'd say Until the End of the World because I love the groove and I love the guitars
Yeah.
and I like the story about Judas and Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of got that kind of Species vibe too, as well.
It
It's kind of
does.
that whole. The end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of
He just
thing.
when Bono sings, it feels like he's just smarter than you are.
Yeah. When they talk, it
He
does
feels like he
too.
knows more stuff. It feels like when he sings, he should be teaching a philosophy class at university somewhere.
Is anybody else still on? We should see if there's any more.
Oh.
Or is that it?
Yeah. Let's see if anyone else. Here we go. Does anyone else chime in? I feel like I'm picking a winner for a contest right now. All right.
That'll be in the
Hello.
future.
Yeah. Right.
Somebody can win some merch.
Contest winners.
If this show actually works out, maybe you guys
Okay.
can get some merch, right? I know I want a shirt. Better yet, a hat.
I love that U2 song from Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, that's Dave though.
Dave who?
Yeah, Dave
U2
Warren.
song from
Which
Michigan.
means that
He
that
doesn't like any of them.
yeah, I don't. which
No,
means
no.
I don't even know what that means.
From Michigan.
We like that. Sounds like there's a fight going on upstairs. I like that U2 song from Michigan. Yeah, I don't know that one. Oh, Jesus, the mic been in front of my face all night just like that. I guess it has. So I would say
Sword should be.
my honorable mention.
Yeah.
My honorable mention.
Crickets.
Nothing from Zooropa.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that. That's my Astro Park.
My son's favorite album.
Hate that album.
Zooropa is a good song.
I gave up on him right there. The only thing that comes out of Zoo TV is when they call the White House. That's redeemable. That was really great.
How about when they bought a bunch of pizzas? for
Yeah,
everybody?
that's true. I would say
I know, Craig, you're not liking his talks about
Oh.
90s U2, are
Oh,
you?
yeah,
No.
no, it's not 90. It's just that moment right there.
Oh, okay,
That whole, you know,
Going too
Bono
far.
was in a bus station and just sat down and just went, I'm gonna cut my hair and dye it pink. That thing. The whole Mephistopheles.
Right.
Oh, I love
We
it.
all
I
have
think
that.
It's so funny.
Hey, I had a mullet once and did stupid stuff too, right?
Right.
I
a good
tried
mullet.
weed. I smoked weed one time. It was dumb.
A marijuana cigarette?
I had one of those and it was
Yeah.
dumb.
You did a little of the weed.
Yes. I would say that's why kids don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Because
Look what happened
you
to
get
us.
Zooropa.
Oh.
So I would probably say
I could tell you a story about Edge taking mushrooms.
we'll have to say that for an
Yeah, we're not
different
talking
We're not getting into people's drug stories. Gosh, I would probably say
What's the one song that you just gravitate toward? If you want to just listen to something U2 real quick, what's that one song?
Vertigo.
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 There you go. There's your answer.
Yeah. Because I literally, it's funny. Because Vertigo cracks me up. Vertigo's a funny song. It's from the very beginning. Oh, yeah, Captain. I mean,
Yeah.
And from there, he starts speaking Spanish or something, and Catorce,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's a comedic,
It's
fun.
fun.
Hyperdrive into I don't care. I'm about ready to just write the craziest song in the whole world.
Right.
And you're a long way from anything on Rattle and Hum.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right?
So serious.
Like you just went here's Rattle and Hum and a bunch of dirt and some T-bone steaks to
Yeah.
wow, we're on Mars. And
Yeah.
it's just it's the greatest
Punk
album.
Mars.
Yeah, it's
I love it.
Yeah, it's probably one of the it's just it's a great song. But also I would probably say October is, if I had to here's a good album.
Oh man, I love October.
Then
That's like spiritual,
Yeah.
hot, great.
that's a good listening album. October's a good listening album.
It's good for a drive.
War is a good introduction. It's like, oh yeah, this is good. I understand who U2 is. But if you were listening to War, and then Octung Baby,
Oh, it'd be complete. You
So
wouldn't
different.
even.
You have to
you
follow
identify
through
it.
all
yeah, you'd have to wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody really had some tragic moment in the beginning,
Yeah.
and everything just went crazy. And it's like, now I'm gonna explain it. So, well, Shane Powell,
This is so great.
thank you for coming.
Mhm.
Thank
Hey,
you. For coming.
we'll clearly have you back for
Thank you.
what topic would you like to discuss the next time?
Oh gosh.
Hair products.
Hair products.
Hair products.
Hair products.
So how do you get that
Yeah, how do
beautiful
I get
sheen?
It's the sheen. Yeah, it's
WD-40.
it's a long story. We'll save that for another podcast.
I
So
think
hey,
that's what we should talk about.
what the sheen?
How you get your hair like that.
Yes, the sheen. The sheen. That's what I want to be called. The sheen.
Shane Sheen.
No, that's right. Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing.
We love you.
And like I said, 3 more episodes, and we'll create T-shirts. So
All right.
that's it. That's all. We'll see you
That's
next week.
That's all.
God
maybe.
bless.